foundation collection, and I thought that I would show you guys kind of all of the foundations that I currently own, because there's not too many, but it's not like I only have 2 or 3 or 1 foundation that I use. And all of these foundations I actually tend to use on a daily basis, depending on like my mood or what kind of coverage I want or what kind of finish I'm looking for. So I thought I would show you them all, tell you a bit about them, and then sort of do like a mini review on each of them, because I generally do quite like all of the ones that I have to some extent, even though some of them I prefer more than others. So yeah, I thought I would get started on liquid ones first. I only have one powder or like mineral foundation, but I'll get started on the liquidy ones first. The first one that I have is the L'Oreal True Match Foundation, and this is in the shade, I'll tell you guys the shades of the ones that I have. This is in Golden Ivory, and this is the one that comes with the pump. I did actually used to have the one that was the little like jar that you just poured out, which I think they don't sell in Australia anymore, or at least I haven't seen them on the L'Oreal stands. They only come in the ones with the pump bottles. But basically what this foundation is meant to do is it's meant to be a really like true to your skin color foundation. It's meant to match really, really well. It's meant to blend into your skin, and it's also meant to match the texture of your skin. I don't overly love this foundation. I don't know whether or not they changed the formulation of the ones that come with the pump compared to the ones in like the little bottles, but I don't know, like I kind of preferred the more liquidy like pour out one more than this one. But this one's an okay foundation. I don't really love the finish that it gives on my skin. It kind of is a kind of matte powdery finish, like the liquid turns into a sort of powdery formulation, which I guess some people would like, but I'm not too much of a fan of that. But this does give pretty good coverage. This shade is a little bit too light for me, so if I do use it I have to like really bronze up my face. But yeah, it's not too much of a bad foundation. Moving on to another foundation, which is the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation, and this one's in the shade 100 Ivory. This contains SPF 15, and it's basically meant to give an anti-fatigue effect plus a radiant glow. I know there's a lot of hype going on with this foundation, with a lot of people saying that they like it. To me, I don't really overly love it. It does have kind of like a shimmery reflex to it, which you can't tell on your face, but it's just supposed to give you that glow and make you look really awake. But for me, in terms of like the dewiness of it, it's not as like dewy as I'd like it to be. It's not an overly terrific foundation. It gives sort of like I would say a medium coverage, and this one is sort of like a medium to full. You definitely could build this up to be a full. I would say this is more of a medium. It isn't really a lightweight foundation, but yeah, I'm not overly obsessed with this foundation. As I said, it sounds really good, and it sounded really good when I bought it, but as for the formulation and the way it makes my skin look, I'm not overly obsessed with it. It does sort of give a bit of a dewy radiant glow, but not as much as I would like. So that's the Wake Me Up foundation from Rimmel. I'll actually go like about what ones I would repurchase. So these two I wouldn't repurchase again. I'll just go through like the ones that I would repurchase. There's not an overly large amount of ones that I would repurchase out of the collection that I have, but I'll just tell you anyway. So next, moving on to another one which I just recently purchased. It's the Rimmel Match Perfection, and I have had this foundation before. I don't really know why I repurchased this one again, because I'm not overly obsessed with it, but I just did for the sake of it. And it's not a bad foundation. It's a medium, I would say, to full coverage. This one's in 200 Soft Beige, and it's basically meant to be a light perfecting radiance foundation. So once again, like with the Healthy Skin one, it's meant to make your skin look really nice, and it's also meant to give your skin a bit of a glow, and it's also supposed to really try and match up to your skin, which obviously, you know, you would have to get one that really matches the colour. As you can see, this is quite dark for me. I got this when I was a bit more tanned, which I do need to like tan again, because I don't know if you can tell, but I'm looking really pale. This one's a little bit too dark for me. What I actually dislike about this foundation is I find that, and I think I found this with the last one that I had of this one as well, even though they look quite yellow undertone, they actually kind of look a little pink on my skin. I don't know why that is, but this one looks a little bit pink. There's like another one that I have, which I'll show you guys, which is a pretty similar color, but it doesn't look pink on my skin. This one does. I do really like the bottle, and I also really, really love the smell of Rimmel London foundations, especially the the Wake Me Up one. It smells really, really nice, and this one smells really good as well. But yeah, probably wouldn't repurchase this again. As I said, I just kind of picked it up, I think, because the other one that I had was in a different bottle to this one. But yeah, this one's it's an okay foundation, but it's not amazing. I don't think, wow, that's awesome. The next one is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is a foundation that I really, really like. I would say it's a medium to full coverage, and mine's in the shade 210. It has SPF 18, and so does the Match Perfection one. And this is just basically meant to match your natural tone of your skin. It's meant to blend really well, and it's also meant to be quite good for your skin and make your skin breathe and not clog pores. This is a pour out one, so it doesn't have a lid, which is really the only thing that I don't like about it. This foundation is more for me when I'm tanned, as you can see, but this is a pretty good foundation. It doesn't look cakey. Like, none of these foundations look cakey on the skin, apart from perhaps maybe the L'Oreal True Match, in my opinion, because it has that powdery finish. So if you have a little bit of like dry skin, it can sort of grasp onto that, in my opinion. But this one's pretty good in terms of the coverage that it gives, and it sort of has like it's not a dewy finish, but it's not a matte finish. It's kind of like in the middle, which I quite like. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but yeah, I do really like the coverage of this. And the thing that I like about this is it really, really does match. Like this one, as I said, I matched up to the rest of my body when I was a little bit more tanned, and it really, really matched up with my face. So this color, in my opinion, was like closest to the rest of my body, and it did match up really, really well. Next up is another Maybelline one, and this is the Superstay makeup, which looks like this. Once again, it doesn't have a pump to it. I have repurchased this twice. I really, really like the Superstay makeup. This one is in Sand Beige, and it's basically meant to withstand heat, sweat, and humidity. It's not meant to transfer onto like clothing or anything like that. It's also meant to be like a non-pore clogging, oil-free foundation, and it's suitable for all skin types. The main thing that I like about this, I would say it's a medium to full coverage once again, is the fact that it really does last quite a long time. It's a 24-hour foundation. Obviously, I don't wear it for 24 hours, but for the lasting power that it has, it's really, really great. And another thing I really like is the fact that it does stay on with like water and stuff like that. I actually like to wear this when I go to the hairdressers, because when they like wash my hair, and sometimes if I wear foundation, it gets you get that like line where the foundations come off. This does last, like it does last throughout heat and humidity and sweat and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that it doesn't transfer onto clothes. Like, as I said, it doesn't really like come off with heat and humidity and sweat, so it's not really going to transfer off into anything either. But yeah, I really, really like it. As soon as you put it on, you can kind of tell, like it just kind of absorbs into your skin. It doesn't have like a residue, or it doesn't look oily or anything like that. It really absorbs, so it really helps to stay on. If you're looking for a long-lasting foundation, this is definitely the one that I would recommend. Next off is the Healthy Mix foundation from Bourjois, and this one is in the shade 52. Basically, this is supposed to perfect a glowing complexion and tone your skin. This foundation is one of my all-time favorite foundations ever. This is the only one that I have. I haven't had to repurchase it, but it is absolutely amazing. The smell of this is so good. Like, if you haven't smelled this foundation and you like kind of like nice smelling foundations like the Rimmel ones I showed, go and get this. Yeah, this is amazing. It has apricot for radiance, melon for hydration, apple for an antioxidant, and ginger for energy. Oh my god, I would definitely repurchase this. I really want to get the Healthy Mix serum, but if I had to wear this foundation every single day for the rest of my life, I'd be happy. It has really, really good coverage, even though it's quite like a light foundation. As you can kind of see from like the packaging, you wouldn't expect it to be like too full on. Not like, you know, ones like this and stuff like that, but this foundation has really, really good coverage. I'd say it would be like a light to medium, but it really does help to tone your skin. If you have blemishes, if you have redness, any hyperpigmentation, it really, really helps to tone it. I don't find I have to use very much concealer when I use this foundation, which is amazing. Even compared to ones like this. Like this one, in my opinion, just really evens out my skin tone. And the other thing I like about it is how natural looking it is. It's such a dewy foundation, but it's not oily. It just goes on your skin. It really does like the apricot and the ginger. It just really, really gives you a lot of like energy in your face. and it really does help with the radiance of it. It just looks so nice and glowy, and if I just had to wear this by itself, like, my skin would look amazing. And also I like the fact that it looks like your skin. Like, when you blend it in, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look like you're wearing foundation, it looks like your skin, and it's such a gorgeous color as well when I put it on. Next one is Revlon's Colourstay Whipped Foundation, and this is in the shade 150 Buff. This is meant to be a 24-hour foundation, and basically it just looks like that inside. It's like a cream. I don't really like the packaging. Like, I like the packaging of it. I think it looks really like Chanel type, like with the black lid and the like see-through kind of bottom. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't like the fact that, you know, the product's in there. I do prefer a pump, or even, you know, just to like pour it out rather than be in a jar. But the other thing I don't really like about it is the formula. Like with the True Match foundation, I find that it kind of leaves my skin looking a little bit powdery and a little bit cakey. Even if I use a small amount. It's a pretty full coverage foundation, but I just find that it makes my skin looking cakey. As I said, I'd much prefer to have something like this, which is really, really coverage but really natural and lightweight, rather than have a really thick foundation on. And this does feel thick on my skin, so I wouldn't really repurchase this again. It has SPF 20 in it, but yeah, not a huge fan of this. I know a lot of people really like it, and maybe if you had oily skin, like, it would be okay, because it is quite a thick not like a matte finish, but in my opinion, but it is quite a thick foundation. But for me, I'm just not a huge fan of it. I just don't really like the way that it makes my skin look, and it does feel quite heavy and thick, and it is quite a thick foundation. So yeah, I wouldn't repurchase this one again. And then the last foundation that I have is a mineral foundation, and this is the Maybelline Mineral Power Foundation. This is in Classic Ivory Light 2. And this is basically just meant to perfect your skin. It's a mineral foundation, so it's obviously not meant to clog pores. It's meant to be a bit better for your skin. And it has SPF 18. This foundation, or powder, whatever you want to call it, is amazing. It's really, really good if you want to wear it by itself. I don't really go the length of wearing this by itself too much anymore. I don't know why. But it really does help to even out your skin tone. It's not cakey, which I love. I know some mineral powders can be quite cakey, in my opinion. Especially if you do have a little bit more dry skin, which I don't really have dry skin, but I find that sometimes when I use something that's quite thick or heavy or powdery, that my skin can look a little bit dry and a little bit cakey. But this is just absolutely amazing. It looks so natural. It just evens out your skin tone. It does help to cover redness and any sort of blemishes that you have. Absolutely amazing. I could definitely wear this by itself. And another thing I really like about it is the fact that you can wear it over the top of foundation and it doesn't look cakey, even though it's a mineral foundation. If I wear a foundation and then I put this over the top and really blend it in, it just gives a really flawless finish, but it's not cakey, even though, like, it is quite a thick powder and it is meant to basically act as a foundation in itself. But really, really love this. I would repurchase this again, just to wear by itself or over the top of foundation if I wanted a really like long-lasting, flawless look. But really, really like the Maybelline Mineral Power Natural Perfecting Powder Foundation. So that's it for my foundation collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this and you got a bit more of an understanding of the foundations that I use, what ones I like, what ones that I would repurchase, and maybe gave you an idea of which ones you might like to go out and try. As you can tell, like in America or whatever, these are all classified as pretty much like drugstore foundations, but for me, like, these are all really expensive. Like this in Australia is like $38, I think. For the Revlon Colourstay Whipped. So they're all pretty like expensive in Australia, but yeah, some of these are really, really good. Other ones I don't really like. I definitely am the type of person that likes to try out different foundations. I never really used to be, but I definitely like to try out different foundations, and I'm more on the hunt for foundations like this that have really like good coverage but that are lightweight. If you can recommend any more foundations that are similar to the Healthy Mix or that are just lightweight but good coverage or decent coverage foundations, please let me know. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Bye.